I am probably going to embarrass myself, because today we're playing Who's That Pokemon Caps Card Collection Challenge Edition. Now, this time around, I'll be putting up this card. It is up for grabs, and here's the thing, as you guys know, if I win, this stays in the win column. If I lose, it will be donated at the end of the year to a young collector just starting out their Pokemon journey. So here's how it works. I'm going to be showing a random Generation 1 Pokemon, but I'm not going to be able to see it. Instead, I will get 5 yes or no questions. I'll be asking ChatGPT. They're going to be helping us out today, and I'm going to do my best to try to figure it out. After that, I'll lock in my guess. There will be a total of 10 rounds, and if I get at least 8 right, I win. I get to keep the really cool Mewtwo card. If I get less than that, then obviously I lose. But here's where it can get really interesting. If I happen to get 9 or all 10 right by some miracle, I'll be donating an additional slab per correct answer at the end of the year. So technically there's like 3 slabs up for grabs in this video. Just now say it with me. Even if I lose, someone still wins. And even if I win by a lot, someone else also wins. So this is what you'll see. As you can see, it doesn't do me any good. Let's get into round 1.
Who's that Pokemon?
So round 1, we're going to redo because chat kind of screwed up. So we're going to try this again. So the question I asked the first time around actually helped narrow down a lot. Does this Pokemon's name start with the letters A through, oops, yes, new Pokemon name does start with a letter between A and M. Is it dual typed? And maybe I should give it a little bit of shtick here. And I'll laugh so it knows I'm not completely mad at it. Thinking longer for a better answer. Oh no, what have I done? Getting accuracy of response. So maybe this actually just fixes it for future rounds so I don't have to worry about reshooting a round. Yes, it is dual typed verified. Okay, thank you for checking. Took 12 seconds to make that determination. Does the Pokemon's name start with A through G? Oh, it's going to think for like 20 seconds every time, isn't it? No, it does not start with A through G. Is this Pokemon part of a 3-stage evolutionary line? If I hit skip, thought for 32 seconds, okay? It is part of a 3-stage evolutionary line, dual type between H through M. So I am thinking it is part of the Magnemite line. Does this Pokemon evolve in either Gen 1 or any future generations? Yes, it does evolve in Gen 1 or later. 3-stage evolutionary line. I should have asked if it was a base form. Because now the options are a little bit more spread out. Let's go with Haunter. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a bit of a coin flip if that was like a 5-sided coin. Okay, there we go. We are officially 1 for 1. Yeah, let's start with an easy question. Is it a dual typed Pokemon? This time it is a single typed, okay. You know, let's change up some of the questions. Is this Pokemon a base stage? Yes, okay, it is a base stage, so that actually narrows it down quite a bit. So we know it's like none of like the legendary birds, because even though it's base stage, because those are all dual typed. Might be a legendary, but kind of doubt it. I know I'm gonna go to the old reliable here. Pokemon's name start with letters A through M. Okay, A through M, base stage Pokemon, single typed. Is this Pokemon part of a 3-stage? No, it is not part of a 3-stage evolutionary line. So looking through, it's single typed, base stage, A through M, not a 3-stage evolutionary line. So I wonder, could it be something like Goldeen, or it could be Eevee. It could be Dratini. Oh, boy. Actually, no, it wouldn't be Dratini because it's not a 3-stage evolutionary line. Okay, so it's basically either Goldeen or Eevee, maybe something else. Okay, I really got to think on this one. Then there's also the possibility of being Magikarp. because that's technically a water type, then it gains flying when it evolves to Gyarados. Okay, is this my yeah, this is my 5th question. So I have to make this count. Also, it could be coughing. Oh, geez. Okay, I think the best way to do this is I need to eliminate the possibility of Eevee or Lickitung. Does this Pokemon gain a new evolution in later generations? No, it does not gain any new evolutions in later generations. Okay, so that eliminates Lickitung. It also eliminates Eevee. And I kind of wonder if they count Gyarados Mega Evolving as a new evolution, because I really didn't offer much clarification there. Is this Pokemon Goldeen? Okay, wow, okay. I flipped a few coins on that one too, because it could have been Diglett technically, because they're not going to count the Alolan form as a new evolution. It's just a regional form. So single typed, water type, yep, evolves into Seeking 2-stage. Starts at A through M, not part of a 3-stage line, no later gen evolutions. Perfect, okay, so we are 2 for 2 so far. Does this Pokemon evolve? Let's start off with a nice and easy one. It does evolve at some point in its line, okay. Oh boy. I kind of want to stick with like the theme of evolution this round. Part of a 3-stage evolution, because I kind of feel like it gave us that information, but I don't know if that's a red herring. Yes, this is part of a 3-stage evolutionary line. Is it a branched evolution, even when considering future generations? Okay, it does not have a branched evolution, so that actually doesn't help nearly as much as I thought, because I really only got rid of just the Gloom line, or Oddish line technically. Okay, so 3-stage, does it gain a new evolution in future generations? It does not gain a new evolution in future generations, so it's all gonna be self-contained. So it leaves us with the Machop line, Dratini line, and all the starters. Oh man, so I have 1 question left, and I have way too many choices. Yeah, 5 questions is not really enough to gain the amount of information that I feel that I need for this. Oh boy, and I think too, we eliminated at least 1/3 of the options because it says it evolves at some point. So that tells me it's not the final stage evolution. So at least I've narrowed it down to 2 out of 3 possible answers for every evolutionary line. So I guess the question becomes, oh man, I can at least cut it down by 1/3. So yeah, my options are any of the starters, Ghastly, Bellsprout, Dratini. Yeah, I did not do a good enough job narrowing this down. I want to try to be a little thematic here. Technically, Geodude. I guess Shot in the Dark time. Is this Pokemon Geodude? Are you thinking longer for a better answer? You picked at the beginning, right? Oh, wow. Okay. So we are technically 3 for 3. That's surprising. Especially considering that like I said, took a random shot in the dark on that. And then there's a lot of options. Okay, moving on to round 4. So on to round 4, I have no idea how I've gotten 3 right. Does this Pokemon's name start with letters N through Z? Question mark. It does start with N through Z. Does this Pokemon's name start with letters T through Z? Let's see if we can narrow it down even further. Yes, T through Z. Okay, actually that narrows it down. So within 2 guesses, we have it narrowed down. And I'm thinking of every Pokemon that's in that cluster of letters. And I think every single one of them is dual typed. At least I can think of. So you have the Tentacruel. Those are water poison. Then you have Zapdos, which is flying electric. Zubat, which is flying poison. I'm sure there are other ones I'm missing. Tangela is a single type, yeah. So is this Pokemon dual typed? Because at least eliminates a few options here for us. So that's 3 questions. T through Z, dual typed. Does this Pokemon fly? Just for clarity, basically, is this Pokemon a flying type? Because they might be like, does it learn the move fly? And there's actually flying types that don't learn the move fly. Okay, it is a flying type. So I think the answer is going to be Zapdos, but I need to confirm that. So T through Z, dual typed, one of the types being flying. So that gets rid of the Tentacruel line. Because dual type obviously gets rid of things like Vaporeon, Vulpix. I think it has to be Zapdos. T through Z, dual type flying. Yeah, like I'm way overthinking this. If I ask this question, like this has to be it. Okay, not legendary. Am I missing a blatantly obvious one here? Oh my God, hold up. Sometimes you make things, it's much more difficult than they need to be. I think I was like just so fixated on Zapdos because I don't know why. But okay, yeah, I really only had two choices. That last question actually helped, even though I thought it was gonna be just a throwaway. Completely forgot about Zubat until I was like, wait, what are those obnoxious things that are in every cave ever? Okay, cool. That's round 4. So we are 4 for 4, guys. Okay, you guys are probably looking at me like, Zubat is screaming at the screen. I just so badly wanted to be Zapdos, I think. I'm just glad that we were able to sort that out. So let's move on to round number 5. Okay, so last time we did the name trick, that actually really helped. Let's start off with a dual type just to get that knocked out of the way, because that's a question I think needs to be a staple in this challenge. Single type Pokemon. Start with A through M. Does start A through M, single type. So it could be anything from Abra to Magikarp, basically. Does this Pokemon evolve? Yes, the Pokemon does evolve. See, that's the thing, that the road doesn't like narrow it down as much as I would hope. This Pokemon part of a 3-stage evolutionary line. Yes, it is part of a 3-stage evolutionary line. Okay, so what do we know so far? So it is a single typed 3-stage evolutionary line. So that basically means it's either Caterpie, Metapod, Machop, or Machoke. Oh boy, could actually technically be Charmander or Charmeleon. I need to find a way to narrow this down. Is it a base stage Pokemon? Actually, technically, it could be Electabuzz because Elekid and Electivire exist. It is a base stage. Okay, let's think through the options here. So actually, I'm going to use this space to chat it out or type it out. Technically, Clefairy because it is seen as a base form, even though it evolves from Cleffa, but Cleffa is seen as a pre-evolution because of weird wonkiness. Okay, so basically, as far as I can tell, the only options we have to choose from are Charmander, Caterpie, Clefairy, Abra, Chansey, and Machop. Let's get rid of all of that. I think Clefairy is a little too much of a risk. Same with Chansey. So now that leaves Caterpie, Charmander, Machop. I'm going to go with Caterpie. I think Charmander might be too obvious. Machop might be too obvious. Oh, wow. Okay. So there we go. We are now officially 5 for 5. Okay guys, we are halfway done. Hopefully you guys are keeping pace with me here and you guys are also 5 for 5. And I think now would be a great time to throw it out there. If you're enjoying this kind of content, be sure to smash that subscribe button. It really means a lot. I would love to have you guys as part of this journey. This is probably the weirdest challenge I have done on this channel so far. Kind of broke me out of my comfort zone with the whole Pokemon Go thing. There will be more Pogo stuff, but there's also going to be more content that's just a little bit off the wall, a little bit more fun, a little bit more loosey-goosey. So if you're enjoying this series so far, again, a subscription and a like would go a long way because, again, the stakes are going to get bigger and the challenges are going to be even wackier. So if there's something you enjoy, be sure to follow along. I think the alphabet actually narrowed it down the best for us, so let's see if they even know what I mean by this. A through M? Okay, they do know what I mean by that, cool. So it's gonna save me a lot of time. T through Z? Dual typed. Come on, your AI, it should be that hard to figure out. Yes, it is dual typed, base form. Might be Zapdos? Okay, it could actually be, or it could be, technically it could be Tentacool also. So I have one question left. Is this Pokemon a water type? Because I think it might be Tentacool. Because I don't think they're going to do Zubat twice in one round. Yeah, I am 100% locked in on Tentacool. I mean, that has to be it, right? Is there one I'm missing? Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, I thought I got that one actually pretty fast. I think the name trick really helps with this. Let's start with the easy one, dual type. Single typed, okay. A through M, does start with A through M, A through G, A through G. Single typed A through G, base stage. Because right now I'm thinking it'd be Abra or Alakazam, technically. Could be Charmander, theoretically. It could be Caterpie again, but I don't think so. How do I narrow this down even further? It could, oh boy, it could also be Drowsy. Could be Cubone. I gotta think. And I don't want to do that. I mean, I'm playing a game that requires me to think, and I don't want to think. It could be Chansey. I'm going to do that thing where I type out the potential answers. It could either be Dratini, Ditto, Charmander, Abra, Electabuzz, Chansey, Goldeen, Eevee, Cubone, Drowsy, Grimer, Growlithe, Diglett, Ekans, Caterpie. I think these two, Electabuzz and Chansey, are kind of off the table. Because you kind of get into that weird territory of there's that middle stage evolution because the baby forms, but the baby forms count as pre-evolutions. I can't think of a good way to narrow this down enough. There's not a way to get this broken down, is there? The only way I can do this to give myself the best chance, I'm going to copy this list and then, is this Pokemon part of a 3-stage evolutionary line? Yes, it is part of a 3-stage line. Get rid of Ditto, get rid of Goldeen, Eevee, Cubone, Drowsy, Grimer, Growlithe, Diglett, and Ekans. I think it is going to be safe to assume that it won't be either Electabuzz or Chansey, because I think there might be a little bit of confusion on that. I'll accept the result, whatever it is. And plus, we're in a pretty good spot anyway. And I don't think they'll go back to Caterpie. So the options in my mind are at least Dratini, Charmander, and Abra. Oh my gosh, okay, so took a 33% chance again. So I think that's like the third round where I got like really lucky. This is round 8. So if I win here, I get to keep the slab and it stays in the collection forever. That's great news. Again, the better news, as I mentioned earlier, if I happen to go 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, for every additional correct answer, I'll be donating an extra slab anyway, because I want my wins to be other people's wins as well. Like, this is actually making me think, and I don't want to think this hard. I thought this would be so easy. I'm like, there's only 151 Pokemon. How hard can it be? First question, let's do the tried and true strategy here. A through M, T through Z. Dual type, that's going to narrow down a good bit, I think. Just a single type, obviously, it goes things like Tangela, Vaporeon. Yes, it is dual type. Okay, so it eliminates those options. I'm trying to think of other dual type Pokemon in that range. Pretty obvious one, Venusaur, Weedle. Zubat's technically an answer, even though they've already used that one. I don't think they're going to do the same thing to us again. Guess, I mean, I might as well ask if it's poison type, but that just really gets rid of Zapdos. Unless I can think of any more T through Z Pokemon. After thinking for a few minutes, I can't think of any other Pokemon that are dual typed. So at least I have it narrowed down to a good bit. So I'm going to copy that. I think it might be better to ask if it was grass type, because that would eliminate Victreebel and Venusaur. And they say no. They say it is not grass type. If I say it's a poison type, that only eliminates one thing. Is it a grass type? Ooh, okay. So it is a grass type. So let's get rid of the non-grassy boys here. Tentacool, Zapdos, Weedle, Zubat, Venomoth, Venonat. Those are gone. So the options are Victreebel and Venusaur. So the only real question at that point is this Pokemon part of a starter line? So it's either going to be Victreebel or Venusaur based on this answer. I think the answer is pretty obvious, unless there's one that I'm missing. I'll throw a smiley face for good luck. There we go. Technically we won. Hopefully the glider's not horrible on this right now. But this is staying in the display case. So the important thing is, that's a really cool card and I really want it. But we are off the losing streak. That was 1. So we're officially 3-1. But as I mentioned, 2 more slabs up for grabs. So let's go on to round number 9. See, this is part of the video where I kind of wonder, do I kind of play it fast and loose and try different strategies, or do I just try really, really hard to win? Because again, I want to give away more things. So I think I'm going to play kind of hard. Let's play a little bit strategic here. So we're going to do the same strategy that's actually been the most effective for us. A through M, A through G. I know it might be a little repetitive, but again, I want to give away cards here. So that's like Hitmonlee through Magikarp, Machop. Does this Pokemon evolve? I probably should put the clarification, does it evolve in future generations? Yes, this Pokemon does evolve. So it actually gets rid of the Hitmonlee because they evolved from Tyrogue. I actually get kind of nervous. Dual type. I think it's question number 4. Yeah, it is. So A through G evolution. If they say it is dual typed, my first guess would be Haunter. But let's come up with a little bit of a list here so we don't miss any possibilities. I'm asking clarifications about what stage of the evolution it is. So I have to just kind of be careful with my last question. Okay, I can't think of any other options. Oh boy. If I put it as asking if it's base form, at that point I'm relying on a coin flip. Is it a base stage? I honestly think that is the best strategy here. Because if I ask a specific type, is electric type, they're going to say yes or no. That's going to leave me with Kabuto and Haunter or the Magnemite Magneton line. If I ask is it a base stage, that eliminates Haunter and Magneton, or vice versa. Let's ask the base stage question. Is not base stage. That means it's either Haunter or Magneton, and I just have a feeling they're going to go with Haunter because it's AI. There is a very strong chance that they're not going to think about future generations unless I specifically ask about getting an evolutionary type or an evolutionary stage in later generations. And Haunter is part of a self-contained line in Gen 1. So I think Haunter has to be the choice. I could be wrong. If it is Magneton, then I respect it for considering Gen 4 as an option or as part of the scope of Pokemon, but I think Haunter is the choice that they would go with. Don't know if my reasoning was right. All that matters is that I was right. So that is round number 9. So one more slab is added to the pool. So technically one slab is being donated, one's being kept. Let's see if we donate another slab today. Okay, before we get into round number 10, I'm going to ask you the question of the day. Is this a format I'd like to see brought back? Would you like to see me with another person? So that way they can ask me questions or I ask them questions. You know, nothing against ChatGPT, but there was a couple rounds that are a little bit clunky. So maybe bring in a person. Would you like to see me expand this beyond just Gen 1? Would you like to see me try all 9 generations, all 1,025 Pokemon, but I might get, just say, 10 or 20 questions instead to help narrow it down? So let me know, is this something you'd like to see more of? So with that all being said, let's move on to round number 10. Tried and true, right? We gotta go with splitting it in half, T through Z. Yeah, I really want to be Zapdos. Like I've been kind of hinting at it. No real reason, just that'd be kind of cool. No, so okay, Zapdos off the table. N through S. Dual typed, single typed, okay. That actually helps a great bit. Does this Pokemon evolve? Then based on this, we'll start laying out some of our potential guesses here. Pokemon does evolve. Single type, that does evolve, and N through S. So let's start thinking of some possibilities here. Okay, so far off the top, I have Rattata. I'm going to butcher the spelling on it. Don't really care because it's just for my reference anyways. You know, honestly, Pikachu might be something they throw at us for round 10. Could be Sandshrew. Ooh, could be either of the Nidorans. Could technically be Primeape because Nidoape exists, but again, it's one of those weird ones where I don't know if ChatGPT is going to pick up on that, because I might be still thinking Gen 1 is self-contained. Are there any other ones that I'm missing here? Shouter, technically Poliwhirl and Poliwag. I kind of went backwards because Poliwag is first, but I have to think of a way to narrow this list down. Technically Seadra, so I'm going to put this next to Primeape only because those are 2 that are questionable because Kingdra comes later. And speaking of that, Porygon is another one. Those ones are the questionable ones. If I really want to get funky, I can ask, was this Pokemon found in base set of the TCG? Because that would narrow it down quite a bit. If I say fossil, that only gives me like 2 options. And ask it if it's a base form, only gets rid of Primeape and Seadra, which I'm on the fence about anyways. Nidorino, Poliwhirl, and Primeape, which I actually just mentioned that one. Man. You know, I think what I need to do is ask if it's part of a 3-stage evolutionary line, because at least it splits those options in half. So that gets rid of Sandshrew, Pikachu, Rattata. Gives me the Nidorans, which are 2 of them. Oh, also gets rid of Shouter. Again, I'm not confident in this, but I think deleting these 3 options kind of makes sense. Again, if I'm wrong, then that just is what that is. So I have Nidoran, Nidorina, Nidorino, Poliwhirl, Poliwag. I don't know why I'm thinking it, but I'm thinking Poliwag. Okay, I don't know how we just pulled that off with Poliwag. That's huge. I did not think I was gonna pull that out at all. Oh my gosh. Wow, okay. So a couple important things here. Number one, 10 for 10. Clean sweep, did not think I was gonna pull that off. This was so much easier when I was a kid and I had just the silhouette to worry about. So that's a lot of fun. Let me know how you guys did in the comments below. 2 slabs will be added to the prize pool to be handed out to young kids at the end of the season. So I'm really excited for them. So be sure to subscribe to see that take place. So we have the 1 card in the loss column plus 2 in the win column that are going to be handed out too. That's very, very cool. So we have one more thing left to do. Hang tight. Okay guys, that does it for me. Episode 4 in the books. We're officially 3-1. We'll see you in the next one.